Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Frank Andrews, Marisa Burke, meteorologist Noreen Clark's backyard forecast, and Jay Christopher's sports. This is Newswatch 16 midday.
Lawmakers in Harrisburg are talking about a mandatory seatbelt law today. The House is debating a bill sent to it last year from the state Senate. But the House bill is different. It has been amended. Right now, if it were passed, you'd get a $5 fine if you were caught unbuckled. Debate is expected to go on for weeks. A vote may not happen on that mandatory seatbelt law proposed until sometime in October. If you're in the market for an exercise bike, Action 16 has some helpful advice today in the Consumer's Corner. Jerry Gartenberg talks about safety features and ratings for the various exercise cycles.
We Americans spent more than $3 million last year on indoor exercise bikes. Now, if you're in the market for one, you may find your head spinning with the names of lots of different brands. There are over 100 out there. Well, don't exercise your brain too much because Consumer Reports magazine rated 24 exercise bikes that sell from about $150 to $500. Now, bikes in this price range usually have a solid wheel that's designed to make the ride smooth and a resistance control, allowing a rider to slow down or pick up the pace of pedaling. Most of the bikes also have toe straps and gauges to tell you how far and how fast you've pedaled. Consumer Reports picked out the bikes it found give the smoothest ride, are the simplest to operate, and the most comfortable. The very best of the best bikes tested are Tunturi Executive Ergometer, Walton 490, and AJ 520. Bikes earning the next highest marks are Omni 4000, Avita 450, Precor 820E, Monarch 865 Mark II, and Avita 400. Consumer Reports downrated all these Schwinn models because of a safety concern. It found the pedals on the bikes keep moving as long as their wheels are spinning, so if your foot slips off, the pedal could hurt your leg. Two other safety concerns from the testing agency. It says try an exercise bike on for size before you buy. A bike with a seat that can't be adjusted to your height could give you knee problems. And always check with your doctor before you decide to pedal to your heart's content. I'm Jerry Gartenberg, Action 16 in the Consumer's Corner.
And when we come back, Israel says it was a Cleveland man who sent thousands of Jews to the gas chambers during World War II. And in Maryland, the American Civil Liberties Union challenges a school district for teaching morality. We'll tell you why when Newswatch 16 Midday returns.
Introducing Bon Bon's brand ice cream nuggets, so deliciously irresistible.
Hello? Your Highness, not tonight.
So truly scrumptious and delicately bite-sized.
Marcello, not tonight.
Bon Bon's brand, a tiny scoopful of creamy vanilla or chocolate ice cream inside, a chocolatey coating outside.
The inauguration, another year.
Bon Bon's brand, simply irresistible.
This week at the Globe's 108th anniversary sale, you'll find special savings on our better name and designer fashions for women. You can save on men's clothing and furnishings, or look for extra value in our home furnishings too, like linens, towels, china, and gifts. See our 44-page anniversary sale insert in last Sunday's Times. Hurry, some quantities are limited. Plus, don't miss the grand opening of our new Mickey Mouse shop on 1.
I love shopping at the Globe. We love shopping at the Globe.
American reporter Nicholas Daniloff has left the U.S. Embassy in Moscow, the Soviet Union, and is on his way home. ABC's Walter Rogers says he has seen Daniloff escorted through customs and boarded onto a plane bound for West Germany. Now, nothing has been confirmed by Washington, though. Daniloff was arrested a month ago on spy charges in the Soviet Union. Ever since then, U.S. and Soviet leaders have been arguing about the case. Secretary of State Schultz and Soviet leader Shevardnadze met last night again. Now Daniloff has been allowed to leave. More on the case tonight on World News Tonight following Newswatch 16 at 6. And we may be preempted during this newscast with a special report from ABC if there are any developments. And if that happens, you'll know the reason behind it. Meanwhile, some superpower politicking has been going on in a remote part of the Soviet Union. As ABC's Walter Rogers explains, the Russians are trying to get the United States to stop nuclear testing.
This may seem like an unlikely place to conduct superpower politics, but deep in this mine shaft in Soviet Kazakhstan, the Russians are trying to refocus world attention on their proposed moratorium on underground nuclear testing. Soviet officials explain these mine shafts were drilled to test nuclear warheads, but they've not been used for more than a year since Moscow unilaterally halted nuclear explosions. Western reporters being given the first ever up-close look at these underground blast sites were urged to pressure President Reagan to stop nuclear testing in Nevada. The dilapidated state of the Soviet test site is pointed to as evidence Moscow is not now preparing underground nuclear tests. Before being taken on a helicopter tour of the area, the Russian general warns his country may be falling behind in its weapons testing program as the result of the continuing American nuclear tests. Then there was a flyover of the Kazakhstan nuclear test range to further reinforce the point Moscow is not preparing tests. The Soviets do, however, have other underground testing sites far from here that were not shown to Western journalists. Walter Rogers, ABC News, Moscow.
The American Civil Liberties Union is challenging a Maryland school district for teaching morality. As ABC's Lark McCarthy explains, the ACLU is afraid that may be unconstitutional.
In values, there are no right or wrong. It's opinion. It's what you believe in.
Schools in Baltimore County, Maryland, like many across the country, have made values part of the curriculum. Honesty, courtesy, and patriotism are taught along with the 3 R's. There's been much praise for the trend and some concern.
That the cry for morality is really a call for interjecting sectarian religious doctrines through the many back doors of many public schools.
School administrators from around the nation recently heard words of caution on this sensitive topic.
I think most of you will find that that call for morality is something a little more dangerous, a little more sinister, a little more unconstitutional than it might appear at first blush.
We obviously have to teach morality. There's no way to avoid teaching morality.
Baltimore County says it has avoided the wrath of the left and the right. A community task force identified common civic values.
We're not trying to replace the family or the church. We're trying to complement what they're doing in values education.
I would applaud the movement. We think that it's very important to teach values in the schools, but we also understand that it's a very difficult situation as far as educators are concerned.
Clearly, the demand is increasing for the teaching of values, and schools must tread carefully to define a common morality. Lark McCarthy, ABC News, Baltimore County, Maryland.
Our Weather Watch forecast is next now. I know Noreen was talking about sunshine today. It's having a hard time poking through those clouds, isn't it?
That's right, Frank. Some thin spots have appeared in the overcast, but there's still a whole lot of cloudiness out there. I'll tell you if and when the sun will come out with the Weather Watch coming up when we return.
We at Medicare Convalescent Equipment Company have important news for you. We're now joining with Foster Medical Corporation, bringing you more of the same outstanding service and reliability you've come to expect. What makes us special is that we treat our patients' individual needs. We even do all of the Medicare paperwork for you. By joining with Foster Medical, a nationwide corporation, we can serve you even better at our 2 locations in Old Forge and Hazelden.
At Foster Medical Corporation, we always have a better way because we care.
Good day, everyone. We haven't had sunshine in about 2 weeks, and this week doesn't hold a whole lot of promise for blue skies and bright sunshine, but we do have some warm temperatures, and today is showing some of it. Let's check with our weather watchers this midday. Mr. and Mrs. Elwood Carr in Laraysville have 68 degrees and a cloudy sky. From Carbondale, Vicki Wagner reports it's cloudy, breezy, and 64 degrees. In Woodward, Loretta and Karis Refner have a cloudy sky and 70 degrees. Here in the backyard, it's mostly cloudy, but the sun is trying to break through a little bit. The temperature, a very mild 71 degrees, humidity high at 80%, the wind out of the west at 8 miles per hour, and that barometric pressure reading 30.25 inches, and it's falling just a little bit. The most recent satellite picture shows a good deal of cloudiness over northeastern and central Pennsylvania, but out in the western portion of the state you can see some breaks of sunshine, and we could certainly get into this during the afternoon hours, so I'm looking for a brightening of the sky at least through today. There are some showers, bright clouds up to the north containing those showers. In fact, we had a warm front push to the north this morning. It was accompanied by a little bit of drizzle and fog here, but since then it's been mainly cloudy. We'll break into sunshine not only this afternoon, but during the day tomorrow. There is a cold front that's been very slow to move from the Great Lakes down into the Plain States, and it has caused problems with flash flooding from southern Michigan all the way into eastern Kansas. In fact, this bright area of cloudiness that you see from Missouri into Oklahoma produced 1 to 4 inches of rain in 6 hours early this morning, and it looks like it could produce some severe weather today over Oklahoma. So this is not done with heavy rainfall over the midsection. They'd like to see it move to the east, but it will not reach us until midweek. The latest radar does show a band of showers and thunderstorms to the north, and this is all pushing straight east at about 40 miles per hour. So much of the afternoon here in Pennsylvania should remain dry. There's just a slight outside chance of a very brief passing shower moving through the very northeastern corner of the state this afternoon. As far as high temperatures, we'll reach into the 70s. If we get some sunshine, we'll go into the 80s, and tomorrow we will certainly be in the 80s. It's very hot and muggy with the 90s over the south. As far as the midweek, well, the warm air is going to continue to push into the state of Pennsylvania, but there'll be an increase in moisture and a better chance for showers and thunderstorms as we head into Wednesday with that front coming a little bit closer. As far as this afternoon, skies will range anywhere from cloudy to partly sunny. You'll feel the warm up this afternoon. There's a slight risk of a brief shower over the northeastern portion of the state. Temperatures will range anywhere from the mid-70s to the low 80s. The wind will be out of the southwest at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And here's the complete forecast. We're looking for mostly cloudy skies, but it could turn partly sunny this afternoon. Warm temperatures, partly to mostly cloudy tonight. Tomorrow, a partly cloudy, warm, and very muggy day. There's the slight risk of a thunderstorm. A few showers on Wednesday with the front, and they could hang on into Thursday. So, Frank, we're not seeing much sunshine this week, but we've got the warm temperatures that make it feel like summer. In fact, I'm ready to take this jacket off.
You can feel it's warm in here as well. Thanks a lot.
Take care, Frank.
Jay Christopher is up next with the Sports Watch and the celebrating Boston Red Sox American League East champs. Plus, information on a Newswatch 16 phone survey on the use of instant replays. We'll give you the question and the phone numbers when we come back with Sports Watch 16.
We're grilling it, chilling it. There's so much to choose. What a meal and what a deal. It's all waiting for you. Discover Bonanza. There's more of what you're hungry for.
Help yourself to creamy, delicious, soft-serve dessert, free with your dinner.
Discover the taste. Discover the price. Discover Bonanza.
Save on quality hardware and tools during the Pro Fall Sale. Over 200 super values, like Liquid Nails Construction Adhesive, Bond's most common building materials, Pro priced at just 99 cents. Lufkin's 33-foot tape measure with the exclusive teardrop case for comfort is Pro priced at $12.99. And from Schlage, easy-to-install entry locks, Pro priced at $12.99, with a $3 rebate for one, $5 for two. Sale ends October 18th at these and other participating Pro Lumber, Home Center, and hardware stores.
The Boston Red, a lot of people have been waiting for this day for a long time.
Yeah, they certainly have. Since 1975, the boys from Boston have come to town. Thank you very much, Frank. Hello again, everybody. Well, the last time the Boston Red Sox won a division title was, as I said, 1975. Sunday, the Sox changed all of that. They took the AL East title by knocking off the Toronto Blue Jays 12-3. Now, they'll be playing the California Angels in the championship series beginning next Tuesday in Boston. Now, that'll be a 3 p.m. start on ABC. As for yesterday's big win, it all came down to the top of the ninth. Oil Can Boyd pitches to Kelly Gruber. He pops it up to the infield. Bill Buckner waves him off and takes the fly and the title. The big celebration on the field for the boys from Boston and in the stands upstairs, clubhouse as well. Champagne was sprayed and swallowed as Boston celebrated its first division title since 1975. As for the National League playoff schedule, here's that lineup. The first game gets underway next Wednesday, October 8th at 8 p.m. when the New York Mets travel to Texas to meet the Houston Astros, that too on ABC. NFL on Sunday. The Denver Broncos stayed undefeated by rallying for a 27-20 win over the New England Patriots. The Broncos scored on 4 of their 5 second-half possessions. Third quarter, 13-10 Patriots. The Broncos pull a fast one. John Elway looks for Clint Sampson. Sampson gets it and uses the old hook and ladder routine. He laterals to Gerald Wilhite down to the Patriot 24-yard line. Now that sets up this next play. Sammy Winder gets the handoff from Elway and without too much effort rumbles in for this 18-yard TD. 17-13 Denver. Fourth quarter, the Broncos get some insurance. John Elway fires this rocket to Clarence Kay. He finds and fights his way all the way down to the 1-yard line. And as we see on the next play, Gerald Wilhite again leaps for the TD for 6. The Broncos rally to beat New England 27-20. NFL champion Chicago rolled to an impressive 44-7 power thrashing of the Cincinnati Bengals. Jim McMahon tossed 3D passes. Here's one of them. A short one to the left side. Walter Payton. He'll high step it in. There's Sir Walter going in. The Bears' aerial attack was unstoppable. Here's McMahon. Late in the game, finds Willie Gault on this dead run with a guided missile. 53 yards on this baby as the Bears cleaned the clock 44-7. The Eagles chalked up their first win of the season Sunday. They beat Los Angeles, the Rams, 34-20. Second quarter, Ron Jaworski dropping back, laterals to Keith Byers. Byers lets it go and finds Mike Quick down the sidelines, a 42-yard strike at TD, 17-0 Eagles. Jaworski wasn't finished. He finds Junior Tasolatosi out of Washington State. He hauls it in for this great catch, and TD. The Eagles win their first 34-20. Buddy Ryan says, "I told you so." Scoreboard stuff. Chicago drilled Cincinnati 44-7. Cleveland clipped Detroit 24-21. Minnesota buried Green Bay 42-7. Kansas City topped Buffalo 20-17. Philadelphia upset the Rams 34-20. The Giants eased by New Orleans 20-17. Pittsburgh beat Houston 22-16 in overtime. San Francisco knocked off Miami 31-16. Washington rallied to beat Seattle 19-14. The New York Jets rolled by the Colts 26-7. The Raiders slipped by San Diego 17-13. Denver tripped New England 27-20, and Atlanta defeated Tampa Bay 23-20 in overtime. Now, this year's instant replay in the NFL was designed to eliminate or at least minimize mistakes made by, that is, the calls made by the referees on the field. But that hasn't happened. Instead, the instant replay has caused a lot of division among the league. Take, for example, a week Sunday. Overtime period, Miami kicking off to the New York Jets, score tied at 45. Mike Harper hauls it in, and he runs it up 19 yards, then appears to fumble. But the refs on the field say, no, the play was dead. Miami thought it had recovered the ball, but the replay was bungled because of lack of communication. The Jets retained possession, and that led to a scoring play a few seconds later, giving New York a 51-45 win. So, what do you think? We'd like to know. Here's our question to you. Do you think game officials in any sport should use TV replays to help make decisions? Now, if you vote yes, dial 1-900-720-0010. And if you vote no, dial 1-900-720-0050. Now, the phone lines will be open till 11 o'clock tonight, and the results of that will be following Monday Night Football. Now, the phone survey is unscientific, and the call will cost you 50 cents. As I mentioned, the results will be on tonight, following Monday Night Football, and also tomorrow. Frank, that's the sports.
A really interesting subject, and if you perhaps just caught part of that and you'd like us to repeat the phone numbers, stay with us because we will indeed repeat the question on the use of instant replays in sporting events, and we'll give you those phone numbers in case you want to participate in our survey. So get a pen and paper. Newswatch 16 Midday continues in a moment.
The weather turns your basement into an ugly mess. Fight back with basement dewatering. Basement dewatering removes unwanted water permanently during any season of the year. Our trained professionals have developed a powerful system that's placed only at the trouble spot where the wall meets the floor. And it can be installed in a finished or unfinished room so your basement is guaranteed to stay water-free. Fight back with Sunrise Basement Dewatering. Call today for a free estimate. Call Sunrise Builders at 717-287-3146.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
What would you do, ma'am?
Oh, I'm waiting for my husband. I can stand here.
Okay, stand there.
Just stand here for a Klondike?
Uh-huh.
I don't have to act like a monkey.
Rich chocolate ice cream?
Or hop like a frog ribbit.
Smothered in milk chocolate.
Well, all right. For that chocolate-coated ice cream, loaded big and thick, no room for a stick. What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Hi, hon. Oh, can I have one?
Oh, yeah, just stand right here.
And finally, today, the question and the phone numbers again for those of you who'd like to participate in our unscientific phone survey. Now, the question is, do you think game officials in any sport should use TV replays to help make decisions? Now, if you say yes, you like the idea of instant replays, call 1-900-720-0010. That's 1-900-720-0010. If you say no, I don't think TV replays should be used to help make decisions on the field, call 1-900-720-0050. That's 1-900-720-0050 to vote no. Remember, AT&T will charge you 50 cents a call. The lines are open right now. We'll repeat the numbers tonight at 6 on Newswatch 16. We'll have the results of the unscientific survey right after Monday Night Football on Newswatch 16 Update. And that's all the time we have for Newswatch 16 Midday. For the crew and Marisa Burke on assignment in Lackawanna County, have a good afternoon, everyone.